That was amazing.
We just got unpaid, non-paid for intense therapy from each other. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really refreshing. Guys, this week we are doing a little catch up in the beginning, but then we're talking about kind of like our biggest revelations since starting the Artist Way
And
and
starting the podcast.
starting the podcast because we're wrapping up on season 1. Yeah, I'm feeling really good about the things that we shared. We definitely got a little bit vulnerable on there. I think I almost cried, which is weird for
That may
me.
be like the realest we've ever gotten. And I feel like we were both very present and just here to like have the chat. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's just like we love to get deep, but we love to also like zoom out and think about like what it is we're doing with all of this. And yeah, I think it was really interesting. Like I got a lot out of that one.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about like balancing two realities at the same time and like
Yep.
how that's looked for us. And like trying to find that balance and like what it feels like when you don't have that balance. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just feel so different from starting the podcast. Like I would like I don't think I could, but I want to like go watch like episode 1 and like
We're not,
cringe.
I mean, oh God. I don't know how we're even going to do that 3 years from now, like looking back, because I know we're just going to keep changing and growing and shedding so much. So,
I know. So I
but
hope
it's
you
a
guys
part of it. It's a part of it.
right. And so I hope you guys enjoy this vulnerability episode from us.
Technically our last solo of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the perfect one to end on.
Yeah.
Because I think we'll come back with like a lot to talk about next season from on that note, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we love you guys and we hope you enjoy one hell of a last solo episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Walled Off.
We're here. We are here, ready to catch up. Me and Nina just went, I don't know how many days not talking to each other, but
I love when we do that, though, because it gets pent up.
I know.
And then
exactly.
I
So
go
we're
to
like,
text you, and then I just do it in my notes because I'm like, but that's what you have to do.
Exactly. It
We're
is.
We're only so entertaining.
We're
you
only
know?
so entertaining, and we already have like too much contact where like it easily could all spill out. And I feel like sometimes when we get things off our chest, they just float away. So we can't really do that here because we got to save it for the fans.
Yeah. And then we like when we're working together, it's made us very like work focused. Like when
Yeah,
we're
it's
texting during the
good.
week, it's like instead of like before we didn't have like this kind of space. I'm glad we created the space because now we're better at working.
I know we are. We're more
Who thought?
structured.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
gosh. Okay, well, tell me about your holidays. We had our holiday episode, and then we had a guest that everyone will hear this week. So we've had probably, yeah. Tell me about your holidays and how that all went, and like how our first conversation, if that helped you, and talking to Annie helped you. Like, how do you feel?
I would say that this is just another example of me and my amazing ability to work things up in my brain. And it was lovely. It was perfect. Like we were like I was
Right.
like overwhelmed by all the things we had to do, but then the day I was doing it, I was like, I'm having so much fun. I'm surrounded by people I love. I got to see my cousin who I like practically grew up with. We're like less than a year apart. She
Nice.
doesn't she lives in Denver, but still every time I get to see her, I'm obsessed. Her sister has like a 1-year-old kid. Don't quote me on that, Lauren. I'm so sorry if I got that wrong, but he's about 1 years old. And then my little sister who had her baby recently, and he is about 8 weeks or so. So he was there too. So whatever. It was lovely.
Babies are great. I feel like the babies bring like a sense of energy is different.
Yeah.
Once that phase starts and kind of people start doing that.
Like no one wants all the adult kids. Like we are.
No.
Because then the conversation's always like, when are you getting your life together? Like, what are you doing with
there's
yourself?
so much pressure on the 20s conversations because you're not quite settled with the family. So there's a lot of limbo and like,
yeah,
everyone gets
20s,
the annoying question.
Well, in your 20s, you're like the newborn of the adult world. So I'm like, how about we just treat them like the newborn babies that are running around here? Because that's pretty much what they are.
It's so true. Like now I look at like kids graduating college and I'm like, oh, so little. And I put so much pressure on myself at that point to like have it all figured out. It's such a joke. It really is. The system's broken, okay?
Oh my god, and I think too, I think the pressure also comes from people, like, being uncomfortable with the unknown, and it just
That's
gets, like,
exactly what it
projected,
is.
right? Because it's
There
like
is no other explanation. It's like unless you're like the law school, doctor, finance,
I
accounting
tried to please
route,
that. Yeah, I
yeah,
was an accounting
yeah,
major, and
any other thing makes someone
family
uncomfortable.
loved me.
Even if you're in sales, they're like, "Well, what are you making in that?"
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
like,
it's
"Are you
only good if
okay?"
you're yeah. Everything is just so, like it is, it's all about everyone feeling uncomfortable with the unknown, and it could be little things, like,
Well,
it
we're
could be
not
anything.
and we're not, like, trained to navigate the unknown. Like,
No.
that would be giving too much
Also
power to the common folk to be trained for
exactly.
that.
Also, like, our nervous systems, I feel like you could go back to even, like, prehistoric days. It's like the unknown was like, "What's gonna be for dinner?" Like, now the unknown is so big, like,
It's
we're exposed
so
to so much,
vast. Oh, you're
and there's
so
so
right.
many options. How are we supposed to process this?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
And
I don't know
everyone
if
has
I
a
do.
different you know what's a really interesting conversation that we should have on? Oh, I don't think we're qualified, but, like,
Even better.
I wanna research more ADHD. I heard this really do you know who Trevor Noah is?
Yes. Is he bald?
No, he's, like,
Then I don't
British.
know. I don't know who that
Okay.
is.
Anyway, I don't
Okay.
follow him or anything, but someone was quoting him. He was doing, like, some speech, and he was talking about his ADHD, and he said to him, he's like, "My ADHD shows up as in it's now or now." So someone that's late to 7:30 dinner every single time is because when it's 6:45, it's 6:45, it's not 7:30. And it's like, people that actually live like that probably are less stressed because they're just right here. They're, like, in the present. They cause problems for themselves because they're not looking ahead. But I think
Mhm.
if you have that, and I know people like that, it's like the whole concept at least, like, maybe doesn't intimidate them, and they're not so scared of the unknown because they're just, like, they're doing what they're doing right now. And I wish I could be I think I have some ADHD tendencies now, but I wish I could be more like that. I am late and I have some things that align with that, but I worry a lot about the unknown. So it's like I can emp I can empathize with people that do live in that, like, discomfort and maybe project it on other people and stuff. Like, I see it. I see why, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, and it like, that's the thing is I'm always like, "I get it," but, like,
Yeah, but
yet
it's
this is
annoying.
but it's annoying. And
It's exactly right.
you know what I caught myself doing? Like,
Hmm.
totally airing my dirty laundry right now. So it's like, I have younger cousins that are, like, more than 10 years younger than me.
Mhm.
Sure, sure, yeah, about there, maybe some a little bit more.
In their
Um,
teens?
yes, some are like, one's in,
Tween?
they're siblings, so one's in middle school, the one is, like, a freshman in, college, and then the other one is, like, a junior in college, I believe. So there's an array there, but, like, now
Mhm.
we vibe because they have brains. They were just too baby before. But I caught myself being like I, like, went up to one of them and I was like, "Who are you dating?" And then I was like, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh." Like, my aunts used to always say that to me, it would drive me
I
crazy, and I'm
know,
like,
it's
"Now
just
I'm
the
doing it
circle
to
of
you."
life.
And they were like, "It's fine." And I was like, "You don't understand. I need to go I'm gonna go put myself in timeout. I'm gonna come back and ask you about your hobbies and what you like to
Exactly,
do." It's crazy.
exactly. But, like, you're still, like, cool and young, and they probably don't mind talking to you about it, but I do think that, like, I have caught myself doing the same thing with younger cousins. I start asking them, like, "What do you wanna do? What are you gonna do at school?" Like,
Yes,
oh my
yes.
god. I'm like, "Caroline, stop it."
No, I'm like, "Shut up."
Ask
Like,
them where
what
they like to shop.
literally, like, "What are you doing on your free time? Who are you hanging out with after this?"
Yeah.
Like,
"What do you think of this family shenanigans?" Like, there's
right.
so many other questions to ask, but, like,
Who's your least favorite
it's
person here? Like, there's so
God,
many
that's a
routes
good
you can go.
challenge. It's a good challenge to go somewhere and ask people unique questions that
Yeah,
are not the standard.
well, the standard ones just, like, spit out of you, and
I
that's how I know.
know,
I'm
they
like,
just
"Who
come
put that in my
out.
brain?" Like, I
Fuck
was
small talk,
programmed.
man.
I
I
know.
hate small talk so much. It's just
There is
not
an
in
art
me.
there is an art to it, though. Like,
For sure, I
I
can
there's,
do
like, a
it.
necessary space for it, but
Yeah.
then if it lasts longer than 5 minutes, that's long. If it lasts longer than 3 minutes, I'm like, "Okay, we don't
Yeah.
have anything in common." No, I'm just kidding. But, like,
No, for
then it's like
real. People know what we're talking about. That's this time of year too, so it is relevant. It is
yeah,
relevant. Well, good. I'm glad everything went well. You had a nice few days off work,
yeah.
just cozy, all hang out.
Yeah, it got so cold here. We got a Christmas tree, whole house to decorate for Christmas. I have my Christmas
Love.
party this weekend. It's
Wait,
all
tell us
good.
about that. Aren't you doing a little donation thing?
Oh,
Or is that
yeah.
a
So
different thing?
No, no, it's for this. So I pretty much like I want everyone to steal these. Every idea I share in here, I want everyone to steal it. Like that's how it works.
Mhm.
But
Here's the
I
middle.
woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was like, because every time I throw a party, yeah, by no means am Martha Stewart, but
You go for it.
that's where the goal is, right?
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
I just love the idea of hosting. I love having people. So like anytime I have a party, I'm gonna design an invitation. It's gonna be somewhat of a theme. Like this year, it's kind of like eclectic Christmas. Like it's very much like like childhood Christmas parties where it was like I don't have any of these, but just give you a vibe, like the paper cutouts of the snowflakes, and it's
Yes,
just like
yes.
it's like
Crafty, but, like
crafty, yes, but like still like there's a color scheme, there's a vibe,
yeah,
but it's very much like this is a Christmas party, right?
love.
So
So, like, a little over the top, but not
yeah, like I have bows everywhere, like it
love.
just oh, you'll I'll show pictures. I even did
Okay.
all the strike offs I got from, like, the first collection of Novalinda, I, like, put on the wall, like, and created this, like, massive collage of, like, all
Cute.
Novalinda wallpaper and put, like, bows on top so people can take pictures in front of. Because my idea is I can get some, like, cool pictures of people all nice and dressed up in front of the wallpaper,
Wait, I love this.
and it could create a
You're
vibe.
integrating.
Because my goal is to one day, all my Christmas parties be sponsored by Novalinda, and then they can be a tax write-off. 'Cause I because
Yes.
I gotta find a way to party and be smart about it. You know what I
That's
mean?
so fucking true, I love that. That's genius.
But so with the donations thing is my idea was, okay, if I already have all my friends coming over, like, yes, they like, maybe they're bringing, like, a couple of drinks and maybe a little food or something, but, like, mostly we have everything here. I'm like, "What's a really fun thing for the holidays? Because to get everyone in the holiday spirit, and I was like, "Well, let's give back." Like, we already got, like, a whole bunch of people coming over, let's have like
Yeah, and there's
so
enough in the room. You don't need the person bringing the, like, mozzarella ball dish. You're like, "We're good."
yeah, and, like, if they want to, then great, but, like, I really just wanted so I pretty much I found this, like, charity. I believe it's a charity, maybe it's, like, a foundation, whatever, but it's called,
Nonprofit or something?
yeah, it's called Three Sisters House, I believe. In Atlanta, it's a women and children's shelter, and I just looked on their website, and, of course, on the invitation, I'm, like, collaborating with they have no idea I'm doing this, but I looked on their website, and I was like, "What do they need for the holidays?" So, it's, like, everything from, like, Lysol, Tylenol, like, gently used, winter clothing, fuzzy blankets, you know, toiletries, like, things like that, that, like, if you had to leave your home in the middle of the night and you just had a bag and you showed
Yeah,
up at the shelter, like, what would you need? Like, baby
right,
wipes and, like, things like that. But this organization's really cool because they handle everything from, like, taking in a woman or a single mom or someone, like, that night 1 to then, like, housing them, to then setting them up with, like, a resume and getting them a job, to then handling
right,
their, like, financial portfolio, to then incorporating them into, like, coming back and, like, teaching and coaching, like, it's, like, this very full circle thing, very beautiful what they do.
wow.
So, yeah, I just saw the invitation, I was like, "Let's do a little donations this year."
I
So,
love that. That's amazing, Nina. I'm proud of you.
thank you.
That's a really good idea because there is already so much in the room, and, like,
Yeah.
if you have 20 people over and everyone brings one thing, like, or a
We
pack of
just
something, like, if someone brings a pack of deodorant that has, like, from Costco has 8
yeah.
deodorants, like, that's 8 people that one person's helping. So if 20 people do that, then you've got, like, 20 little gift bags or whatever the thing is you wanna bring out, you know?
Exactly. So, I mean and
So
it's
that's
just one of
awesome.
those things too, because it's like, it's fun to come on this podcast and talk to you and talk to our guests and talk about all these like big dreams and goals that we have. But it's
Mhm.
like, and totally a Thanksgiving vibe. But I mean, this was like beginning of November that I planned this. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to recognize that we already have so much.
Yeah,
Like
we
we
do.
are
It's
already
excess.
so unbelievable. We are in excess.
Yeah,
Like
we
our
are.
ability to even have the space to dream, to come up
Yep.
with these like businesses, like that comes from a place of not being in fight or flight. Like we
Yep.
have so much. So I
I
think that's
know.
just the vibe of this year. And you can give and still have a good time. That's my whole
Exactly.
shindig. That's my whole
Exactly.
shindig. I'm not saying like go be
Exactly.
a martyr about it, but like
Yeah.
know your spot, recognize your privilege, have a good time, and then find a way to incorporate giving back. Like, come on now.
I love that. I love that perspective and outlook. It's like it's very healthy because I think a lot of people too don't wanna once they start thinking about it, they feel guilty, and then there's all these things that come along with it, and it's like, well, I don't know if that's helping anyone. So why don't you just do the thing that does help and then live your truth and you keep growing? And I think we do live in this little capitalist society. So if we just keep making more money, then that's the more we can give back to and use it for the right reasons and in the right ways. And I think that that's, I don't know, that's kind of how I look at it. If I had to give my, that's teetering on a different conversation, but I think that's how I process all of it because it's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And it's easy to get too trapped in either way of like ignoring and pretending there are no one else has problems and like complaining about your shit all the time. And then you can get too far down or you feel guilty all the time and you don't live in your truth and your authentic situation in life. So I think exactly what you just said and your party is a symbol of that combination.
And okay, I'll take that. I mean,
Right?
that's the thing. It's like I agree with you, but it's like it's not this like big thing. And also the two kind of people you just described, like two ends of the same coin. That's the same kind of person. You're like
Yeah.
you're only thinking about yourself. If like you are giving, but you're like, I'm not doing it enough, blah 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 blah
Right.
blah, and
Right.
falling into this like spiral, like you're still in the habit of only thinking about yourself in that moment.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you're
No,
still being a
it's so true.
self-centered freaking weirdo. Like do
Yeah.
what you can, recognize what you have, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
think
have to
that
be this big thing.
I think that's like kind of a just a good mentality all the time. It's like even if you're in traffic or at a store, it's just like be polite, you know? Like there's just
Yeah.
like there's so many people that just can't even do that. It's like the bare fucking minimum, you know?
Yeah, I just believe that, like, any point of contact, even if it's, like, over the internet or even if it's,
Small
like,
or
yeah,
yeah.
small,
Yeah,
big, any point of contact you have with another human being has a lasting effect.
it does. I've
And,
really
like
started to notice that if I smile at someone and I can get them to smile back, it's like a thing. And now
yes.
out in LA, people don't really smile at each other. It's like less of that. So sometimes when I do it, it has even more of an impact than if I were to
Oh,
do it in the
I
South.
noticed that when I was in LA. Like, someone held the door for me, I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, and
And I
they're
was like,
like
"Da, da, da." Yeah, and they're like,
they're
"Hmm."
like, "What? Why'd you just say thank you?" No one waves. You know when someone lets you over? No
Yeah,
one does this over the thing and waves. I do it every time, and I know that they're all like,
never change.
"What?"
Never
They
change.
no, I will never.
I love that.
But there's just little things like that that made me start to realize, like, "Oh, this is something I do like about myself that I naturally do, and I'm not gonna stop doing it just because I don't get a wave back or a smile back." But you do start to notice it, and it's cultural, so it's not like it's whatever. I just think that, yeah, it's a good message. Yeah, I like it. Proud of you.
Hell yeah.
You inspire me. Okay, what else? I guess my
Yeah,
little
give us the
recap,
tea.
is I had a good break. Just had Mish out here and my mom, and we went to Palm Springs, and
Mm.
we Palm Springed it up. And it was sunny and 75, and we stayed at a cute little mid-century hotel, and we did girl things. We went to the spa, we went to the sauna, we went to the cute little restaurant in the hotel, and there's still more I, like, wanted to do, but, sometimes it's just a relaxing, chill. I've never done that. I've never done not the Thanksgiving meal cooked, ever,
Mhm.
in 28 years. So we were like, "This is really nice. No drama, just us 2. What can I say? I can't complain."
I
So
love
I did
that.
that,
You took the reins of your
took the
holiday.
reins. I did. There's just, like, a lot of dynamics and, everyone's splitting off. Michael and Joe have girlfriends and different things, so, um, Connor needed to be with his family, and I just think that it was great. And then I hung out with some friends this weekend, and now this week, I mean, December 1st, I think my reflection over the last month is like, "Oh my god, we were just talking about my birthday coming up 2 seconds ago."
I know.
Like, time has flown a ton since summer, but, like, November, dude? What is
Yeah.
that? That literally just flew by faster than any month I feel like I've ever experienced, and it's scaring me a little bit. I think
Wait, why do you think that is? Like,
I
what were
don't
you doing in
know.
November? Was there, like
I don't know. I don't know because I was looking forward to it so much, and then so much happened in terms of just, like, trips and people coming in and out, and,
it was just, like, a fast-paced
it
time?
was just a fast-paced time, and then there's always, like, this anticipation, I think, for the holidays, and then before you
Mhm.
know it, they're moving. I don't quite know. I think I'm still processing, but when I saw December 1st hit, I was like something in my brain changed a little bit in a good way where I was like, "Okay, it's go time." Um,
Same, same.
like, I
Yes.
have all these, like I'll have all these things I talk about on the pod, and I, like, keep putting them off because there's a lot of distractions in my life,
Mhm.
and I just wanna stop using them as excuses, and a lot of them aren't gonna go away, they're just gonna be here, and I have
Yeah.
to choose I have to choose myself in these things I wanna do, and, like, I've done a few of them. I started going to the gym, and I've said no to some trips and, like, things that I normally would feel obligated to go on, and I said no to going all the way to the East Coast, and luckily, my mom wanted to come out, so that worked out, but there's, like, a lot of things that energetically drain me, and then
Mhm.
so then after that thing for 3 weeks, I'm like, I'm just stuck. I'm stuck in this loop. So first, my step 1 was kind of blocking some of that distraction away so I can like be here on planet Earth. And
Mhm.
now I just have to take step 2, which is using the space as an opportunity. And I felt it. I was like, December 1st, you're here, we're going, this is happening. And I feel good. I have like a list of things. I mean, the last 2 days, I haven't been that impressive of a person, but um
It ebbs and flows.
it ebbs and flows, and it's more of, like, the awareness I have right now. I have an awareness that's new, where, like, a lot of things I've did this summer and, like, things that have happened this fall and, like, I kinda like my wedding season's finally over. I had, like, a lot of weddings this year and a lot of obligations, like I said, and now I'm just kinda coming into, like, a free space, and I feel like that free space will allow me to create and, do and be. Create, do, and be. That's my goal.
I love that.
Yeah.
You just mentioned so many things.
Sorry. I just fired
No.
off there.
No, but it's, like, things that I was, like, literally writing about, like, in the last 48 hours.
Okay,
Because
beautiful.
I felt that too with November, where it 1 flew by, and 2 was, like, there was a lot of Scorpio energy going on, if you know what I'm saying. I
That's
was
what
just
I'm saying.
I
The
was very
moon's in the
much like
Yep,
low, but not, like, depressed, but, just, like,
exactly,
there was
Nina.
a shedding happened. That's the
Yes,
best way I can describe it, where, like, I felt like I was, like, going through some kind of transformation, and then
exactly.
December 1st, on a fucking Monday, chef's kiss, thank you for that.
Yep.
It was just I just woke up, and I was like, "And December is here,
The
and what
skin
are
is
we gonna"
off.
Yeah.
I could not agree more, and, there was a lot of stuff on my phone about the moon and the stars and the fucking retrogrades, and,
Mhm.
I don't know much about it, but, like, it all makes so much sense to me, like, the moon is super powerful,
Yeah.
and, something's happening, and so November was that. I totally, you just put it into better words than I was saying, so,
Well, I just felt it, and
yeah,
I
it was
mean,
a
I saw
feeling.
it with, like, the way I was anxious before the holidays, and, it was just,
Exactly.
like, weird things, but I agree with you too that I have this, like, newfound perspective that I've tapped into, and then a lot of this too, guys, is, I think a byproduct, maybe directly, maybe indirectly, but byproduct from, making the time of doing the artist's way. I
Yes.
don't like, it's just something
Yes.
about the energy from that book, and, full disclosure, I mean, over Thanksgiving, I didn't do anything for, 4 days. I've done I have the but okay, the awareness that I've, started to adapt more in my life is releasing the shame of, I wanna make growth, linear, and I know it's not, but when I'm real time living it, that it's not, I get a lot of negative emotions about that. If
Mhm.
I fall off the artist's way,
Yep.
I know that growth is not linear. It's not a
And
straight
then
line.
and then do you feel the negative emotions inside because you're upset with yourself that you're not on the linear thing? Or what do you think the negative feeling is?
Well, it was just a lot a lot of revelations have come to pass in starting this book. I think one of the most substantial ones was, how often, even though I would, not even say I would not classify myself as someone who has a victim mentality, and I'll come up here and talk this big game and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But when doing these things and, the things that were coming up was a huge revelation that, how much blame I still did put outwardly, and
Yeah.
then that level of blame, I made that realization, and then that level of blame just, turned its head to me, and then
Mhm.
all of that level was put just on me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this pressure is crazy.
Yeah.
How am I putting this on other people?" Even if they don't even
Mhm.
know I'm putting it on them, I'm like, "This is actually mentally insane," and that made me spiral for a little bit. So, to answer your question, it was before I could do the blame game, but then I made that rev
Revelation.
thank you. And then all of a sudden it was turned directly back to me, which could do the shame spiral route, which
Yep.
I would literally feel myself getting tugged in there and then have to remember. I was like, "You need to just, like, this is what your body needs right now. Just, like, like, do what you can. Just stay consistent." And I'm really, really good at that when it comes to, like, other things in life, but
Mhm.
somehow I just have this, not something I hate about myself, but I really have these, like, high standards that I set for myself and other people around me
Yep.
that
We are
can
very
be
similar in that way.
a little bit daunting, like, once I kind of start peeling back the layers. So, I have learned to be a lot more kind to myself and, like,
Good.
be okay with falling off, but then getting back on,
Yep.
and, like, having just, like, a little bit more flow in there than,
Mhm.
like, hard stops and, like, whatever. So, I don't know,
Nope, Nina,
a lot of that.
that's exactly right. Every time we have these conversations, I'm dying to talk about Hoffman, but I don't want to yet. Um, but I'll just, like, very briefly describe. So I went to this for everyone listening, I went to this camp for a week. It's like therapy or whatever. Okay,
It's the
just
camp we've been calling Spirit Camp.
spirit camp.
You've
Okay,
been listening, we've been
It's
calling
called
it Spirit Camp.
Hoffman.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll do a thing on it. I'm just not ready. I'm still integrating from the summer. But I just have to tell you, so one of the, like, because it's describing exactly what you're describing, is one of the main messages there is this thing called it. They call it the left road and the right road. And you spend a lot of time working on these two roads of life. And the left one is usually the one that everyone's on when they show up. Like, some people are in desperation to heal there. Some people are just don't even know why they're there, but they're not happy. And there's just like a whole array of reasons why people are there. But typically they're on the left road.
Mhm.
Then you come up with your right road. Like, your right road is the linear road of growth you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's is different. Some people never even want to do that. That's fine. Whatever it is. Me and you, clearly, that we're way too far down this. Like, we have a right road. We know what's on it. The day that we did our little manifestation journaling thing, and we pictured ourselves in the big king beds with the kids jumping around and the views and the Bottega bags in the closet, but, like, we don't really care about the bags, but then we have horses outside. Like, that's at the end of our right road. And the whole thing when you're leaving there is, like, you feel like you are the right road. Like, you are like, there is no left road left in me. And the fact is, that's just an impossible concept to think that you're not gonna go back and forth. So
Mhm.
the whole thing is, like, you're gonna go back and forth, but once you're aware, like, now you are very aware of your right road and wanting to stay on that all the time. But it just takes time, and I don't know if anyone ever stays fully on it. Maybe they do, and maybe I need to start believing that I can, but I think that the key is releasing the shame of visiting back on the left.
The way I see it is that, like, we're not meant to be on one road or the other. We're meant to be able to hold both realities at the same time and
Exactly.
balance them, because it's
Exactly.
almost like you get a little bit down the right road, right? Like, you get a little bit more aware, confident in yourself, like, the self-esteem rises, you're starting to challenge yourself a little bit more. You end up creating, like, a new level of safety for yourself.
Yeah.
That level of safety then unlocks something on the left road that is like, "Okay, guys, she's hit this level of safety. Nervous system, I now trust her enough to deal with this emotional thing or
Yep.
this self ideation or this belief." And then it just this thing where, like, and it used to, like, really trip me up because I would, like, be on an all-time high from something, and then, like,
Yep.
then I would, like, literally feel like I was crashing down. But now it's a little bit more like, "Okay, it's coming," you know? The
That's
bounce
exactly
back
right.
rate is a lot better, but I really
Yeah.
do think it's this balancing game because, I mean, you could take someone, like, only on the right road, like, they're probably, like, really fucking boring and, like, lack a lot of perspective.
Exactly. They don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be here making mistakes. That's the whole fucking point of your soul learning and growing. And so the end of the right road, like, if we're 95 years old and we feel like, we've got it down, great. I don't know if at 2028 that's realistic, but I think that it's like a blessing and a curse because you start to know you're very hyper aware of the difference. So if
Mhm.
you're having a bad week, it's a bad week and it's very
Yeah.
uncomfortable because you know what a good week looks like now. To me, I think I'm early in on processing what it means to switch back and forth for me. Like, I have a lot of attachment to the left road majorly, and, even there's some comfort in the shame and the blame of yourself and others, like, because it's an excuse.
It's the road most traveled, so you're like,
Yeah, it's the one I know.
I know where that little, like, bump in the road
Uh-huh.
is, I know where
Yes.
the
You know
crack
what it feels
is.
like.
Yeah.
So I think the artist way to me is just to go back to it because I'm like you, have taken some time off from it. I'm only on week I don't know, you wanna say it. It doesn't matter, guys, okay? I'm going through it. I'm doing the journaling a lot, processing a lot of it, but it is full on to me, since I take every word I read seriously and it, like, has really brought up a lot of things that I already have been doing, I gotta take my time with this shit because it's a
I do
lot.
too. Yes.
It's very
Yes.
depending on how you wanna read it and how you wanna move through it, it's all the blockers on my right road are in this book.
Mhm.
So I have to sit in these things and understand, like, okay, if I'm angry at everyone, what does that mean? And what is that keeping me from doing? Like, for me, it's not for anyone else. It's not for me to rush through it and do it right. Especially since we started talking about it on the podcast. I'm like, oh, I gotta rush through this and do this right. Okay,
I
that's not gonna
know.
fucking work.
I know. That's not what you're getting here, guys. It's not what you're getting here.
But that's real. That's natural. That's real. That's what me and you are doing. That's our thing. So I think that like there there is no right way with any of this stuff. It just is tricky and it's intense. Like the same way we're talking about November being intense, there's also this like expanded version of that for this phase of life for me
Yeah.
personally. Like
And I don't
November is kind of a symbol
you
for
know
the
what
bigger thing.
you know what a common theme for me has been with this book
Hmm.
is, like, feeling really angry.
Me too. Me
Like,
too. That's why
really
chapter 3 is really triggering me because that's what it's about.
yeah, just feeling but it's like and I will be 'cause, like, I'm, like, kind of a know-it-all, like, that's I'll wear that. So I'll be reading it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking know." And then I'll start journaling about it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I've had so many feelings of, like, really intense anger come up, and
Yep.
I wish I could think of, like, a specific thing, but I would say, like, a common theme here is, like, being really angry and disappointed in myself with the realization of how I have played the role of, like, killing my inner artist.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there is the part and when you're reading of being like, "Oh, like, this person put the idea in my head, da da da," and then I fueled that fire, and then I kept it going, and, like, it's, like, accepting that responsibility of, like, how much damage I have caused to myself
Yeah.
is what like,
Me too.
it still is detrimental, like,
Me too.
I still keep seeing signs of it, it's like an onion, and then it, like, pulls back, and it's just, like, so much grieving. I'm
Yeah.
even getting, like, choked up talking about it because 'cause I'm, like, so it's, like, the frustration and, like, the anger and I can't even point it at anybody, you
It's just the
know?
way life
And
goes.
then I don't wanna, like, totally spiral and, like, into, like, a self-hate bubble. Like, I want to have the compassion, but, like, the compassion is not the second nature thing.
Mhm.
It's, like, horrible,
I know.
but
Trust me.
necessary.
I really get what you're saying.
But then freeing,
Yeah,
like
there's another
like
side to this and you're like 29 years old and you're doing it now and you have this whole life ahead of you to figure out what are the things that you've stuffed away and pushed away and all these things and how to regain those and look at them and bring them back into your life. Like it's such a beautiful it's both things. It's
yeah.
frustrating. It's like
It's friction, though, and friction will cause
mhm.
that growth to come through.
Yep.
Like, I understand the role of it and,
Yeah, but
like, a bird's
you
eye
can't
view.
bypass the, like, spot you're in
Exactly.
of it's
Exactly.
actually a huge disservice, like, something I've thought about the last few years is for me teetering on this, like, toxic positivity perspective train. So there's this concept of, like, I think I've done a really good job, like, moving through some difficult things in my life with truly just always grounding myself in perspective. So, like, I am a very lucky person. I was
Mhm.
born into a really great family. I have a really great life partner. Um, I always have resources that I need. Everything could be worse. There's
Mhm.
all these messages I tell myself every day, and it is a gratitude list, and it's beautiful, and it is all true. But in that, I've bypassed a lot of feelings so that I don't have to feel them. One, because I feel shame for feeling them. I'm
Yeah.
like, who am I to feel sorry for myself? And that's the difference. It's like not that I feel like victim is never something I've ever gotten stuck in, victim mentality, but I'm sad that I didn't let myself be sad more. Because if you let yourself be sad, it actually just moves through you and then you're not sad anymore. But what
Exactly.
I've done is I've not allowed myself to be sad by always saying I'm okay and always saying everything's okay and everything's gonna be okay to a level where now all the sadness is stuff inside
No,
me
there's,
from
like,
years ago.
layers. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's coming out now reading this fucking book, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, so how now moving forward do I stop doing that?" So if something happens that's upsetting, it's not about staying in that upsetting place for years. It's about staying in it for 4 days and just, like, letting myself be sad about it, and then it literally will move on. It will go through. But sometimes I don't even, like, know how to like, I'm learning, but I'm like, I don't even know how to be sad because my brain's so wired to do the other thing I'm talking about, which is kind of toxic positivity, which I think is interesting too, because I think there's a lot of people in my close personal life, like, that maybe think I'm actually not like that, but, like, I am. Like, that's the way that I've coped with everything is to say, um, everything's meant to be. Like, I always feel, like, this sense of, like, I just ride above it. I don't, like,
Mhm.
actually let myself touch it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and it's like you're cutting yourself off from that power. Because like, I also believe that, like, just through having quite a few good cries in my years,
Mhm.
but for a while, I was very numb. Like, I was like people call me, like, an ice princess 'cause I still look good
Yes.
doing it, but, like
You know what's
but, like
another word for ice princess?
what?
Composure. People that are composed get a lot of cred for being composed. They're like,
Yeah.
"You're so strong." Honestly, you know who needs to be studied? No, sorry, I interrupted you, but, like,
No,
I just thought
please.
of this, is Kim Kardashian. I've always watched their series and, like, I'm still watching the Hulu one. I just find it entertaining. I miss the old version of the show, but dude, that woman has been through so fucking much. No one could ever understand what she's been through between you can call her privilege all fucking day. I don't care. Privilege doesn't stop people from being traumatized.
Mhm.
Between like the invasion of her privacy, what her dad did for a living, and the OJ stuff, and then the divorce, and then he died. Okay, that's all early days. Then she goes and she gets married 3 times. She marries the craziest person in the entire universe,
Yeah.
has kids with him, gets robbed at gunpoint. She does all this crazy stuff, and she's literally just completely calm. And in the
But
last episode, they like try to study her brain to figure out why is she like this. And it's like, in a way, she probably gets a lot out of being that because other people probably feel really calm around her when it's chaotic. So it's
Mhm.
like the conditioning just keeps conditioning because it's like people want that. They don't want the hysterical person that can't handle their shit. So if you can be composed and you can kind of be ice princess, you actually get a lot of like affirmation and like a lot of like, you're so strong, you're so whatever. And I think it's like a dangerous game because
yeah. Well, it's dangerous when the validation's coming from external, because I do believe that I'm still very composed
yeah,
person,
and it's a
but
great thing in a lot of
but
ways.
I've been able to, and it's like the mindset you're talking about, I still have that mindset. That's what I
Uh-huh.
go back to. That's like that mindset is the mindset that brings me closest to God. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Like God, the
Well,
universe.
describe that. Do you think it's like to use the mindset like peace? Like what do you
It's
living in a
it's I feel like in your day to day, living in a mindset of humility,
humility?
across all board, like across all like it's just gonna reap a better reward.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're a martyr. That doesn't mean you don't
Right.
stand up for yourself. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean you don't have time and space for yourself. Like it's a balancing game. You gotta take care of yourself and create the space of like the good stuff and the bad stuff. But it like there was so I'm an ice princess, right?
Yeah, sorry,
And then
go
all
back
of a
to that.
sudden I get cracked open. I fall in love. Poor Sam. I
Yeah.
fall in love
Yeah.
and everything comes rushing back like a literal tsunami from hell. And then the most logical ice princessy person became fully emotional brain. Like I literally jumped
Mm.
all the way to the other pendulum where like I lost the damn plot. Like
Mm.
any insecurity thought that popped in my head could send me on a spiral for days. I should have been medicated during this time of life and I just raw dogged it. Well, no, I
Yeah.
smoked a lot of weed and
But
I guess I have my distractions. But you
yeah.
know what?
But
But
you were coping in a way that was also like what other people were doing. You're not like
right, yeah, and I'm, like, in my early 20s, whatever, but, like,
yeah.
this mindset, like, took over my life, and it's, like, not until recently where I've been able to, like, bring that other side back for, like, balance, and I
Mhm.
don't even know exactly how I did it, 'cause it was Sam was in the hospital, so I got traumatized back into doing it, But
Yeah.
all of that to say is, like, there is a space where 2 realities can be held at once, and then there's a space where you can have all those mindsets and it not be a bypass system. Like, as long as, like, you can create a
Yeah.
space to feel it and to do it, which you already are. Like, you're in therapy, you're reading the books, you're feeling the
That's
vibes,
exactly right. That's
you're doing
exactly right.
you're doing the thing, but it's like at the end of the breakdown, you go, "I'm grateful. I am, I am
Yes.
loved.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
worthy. I deserve this big, beautiful life." Like, it's like a big trap for me has always been staying in the spiral, like staying in this feelings of sadness, which would like spiral into like you're not enough, da da da. And my thinking was that if I took my eye off of that ball, that it would no longer be there, and then I wouldn't be validating my pain. Does that make sense?
Yep,
Like
it does.
if I take my energy elsewhere, then I'm actually turning my back on myself. Like, I need to revel in the pain in order for it to mean something.
Yeah, interesting.
So it
So
took
so so you were almost, like, torturing yourself more, you mean?
for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. I am so, so good at that.
interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's that might be different than my experience, which I'm saying I think I try to escape it. But I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe you're right, maybe I do that too sometimes. Like, I stay sh I get myself trapped in it because I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna think about this now. I don't think I could even speak on that yet, but that's just, like, a new way of looking at it.
It's interesting.
Hearing your take on that. It's all
Yeah.
very interesting. I think it is a I just like what you said too of, like, balancing the both things. You have to do both. You have to, like,
There's no you can't have one without the other because
nope.
you can't experience feelings of happiness and joy
You know
and
what?
euphoric, like, you can't experience that without also accessing the equal to opposite negative feelings.
Yep.
Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think I'm just now realizing, like, I don't know how many examples I don't think we're taught that. We're taught one or the other. We're taught there's either really negative people that, like, live in victim mode and never get out and all they are is negative, and
Mhm.
then there's a toxic positivity people that are just living in the clouds. And
Yeah, I mean
I'm like, where is the example of both? And it's out there, but, like, maybe it's just not you also maybe don't see people processing their emotions because that is something you kinda do in private.
yeah.
So that it's probably happening more than you would think on a healthy level, but I think a lot of people are in one of the 2 systems.
Well, that's the thing is that the world we live in is set up to put us in 2 extreme systems,
Binaries always.
no matter what. That is the best way to control a population.
Yeah.
The
And so being it's like we're releasing the shame to be someone
old
that lives in the middle.
Yeah, it's
Whether it be politics or motherhood, finances, whatever it is that you wanna do that's a little bit more moderate than the person sitting next to you, that's okay.
exactly. Well, it's like the the skill here that we're talking about is being able to hold 2 realities at once,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it starts off small. It's like for me, like, I don't know, I'm trying to give, like, a small example of, I I go to the gym, but then I go out and party. Does that mean I'm a
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
person? Does that mean da da da? So, like, it starts small, but now I'm at a point where I'm, like, talking about, like, how much I have been responsible for my own suffering and also how grateful I am for that experience.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Is that, like, and it
Yeah.
keeps, like,
There's
it
so many examples of that.
it spirals up is how I view it in my head. Like, it energetically, like, you're on the left, then you're on the right, then you're on
Yep.
the not talking about politics, the roads or
Yeah, yeah.
politics, whatever, but whatever.
Whatever it is. Sometimes
Any
people switch through those too.
Yeah, and I think that this book is just unlocking new layers on both sides, and now I'm having to balance. And then
Yep.
there's just, like, a lot of and maybe it never ends. Like, maybe that's what we're meant to do on this earth is to become wizards at this, 'cause we'll get what if we get amazing at this? Then we're gonna have kids. Then it's gonna be a whole 'nother balancing game, right?
Yeah. And
And
that's
then
why
new
kids are
challenges and new this.
we have so many symbols of this. So, like, that's why we have light and dark. Like, that's
Yeah,
the whole point of,
like
like,
a
the
yin and yang system.
yes, everything is there is no one side without the other that makes a whole. And I think kids are like a really good teachers for adults because adults become conditioned to live in the black and the white a lot of the time where it's just like this is the way, this is what I have to do to survive, this is whatever, and they can't live in the gray. And kids live in the gray. Like, one
Yeah.
second, they're fucking angry, throwing shit at the wall, and then next, they're bouncing up and down, having the best time. Like, that's kind of more realistic than the things that adults are doing. But we're not
So true.
supposed I mean, there's also a reality of, like, we can't act like that, but you can feel those things and express them in a safe way of, like, "I'm super freaking angry about this thing, but quickly, I'm gonna, like, figure out how to express it," whether it's, like, at the gym lifting weights or there's all these other ways you can express anger that are, like,
It's
not gonna hurt anyone or scare anyone, and
it's
then you're gonna
almost
move on.
no, it's and, like, you just the download I just got, it's almost like the flow I have found through like, you know how I was in the beginning, I was talking about, like, I have a lot less shame of, like, the flow that's occurring here
Mhm,
because I need
mhm.
it to be a straight line, but it's like this. Like, a real-time example of, like, the flow is, like, I wake up one morning and the emotions are high, and I
Yeah,
know something's off, but I know I have to go to work. I know I have, to go to a workout class afterwards. I have, like, things on my to-do list that I wanna do that day that are for my bigger goals, and those things are going to serve me in the long run. However, I'm still feeling this way,
yeah.
and a real-time example of that is me being like, "Okay," from, like, I know that these emotions are going to come up. It's not saying, like, from 6 PM to 7 PM, I'm gonna deal with those emotions. That's not realistic. It's more of like, I'm aware that I'm not feeling good right now, and I am going to anticipate emotions coming up this week.
Yeah.
And then for me, it took, like, Sam asking me a question, and I felt them come up, and I was like, "I'm not going to stuff it down. This is" I was like, "This is the moment. This is the moment that I knew was going to
Mhm.
happen. It needs to come out, and then it flows." So it's not
Nice.
like I'm, like, planning the emotions to come out. In a perfect world, that would be very ideal. But it's more of, like, I know
You're
something's up.
allowing them?
Yeah, I a release needs to occur. Something's bubbling up, or it's like I'm really angry, and I'm like, I have to, I need to go put this energy into, like, the gym or anything, or I need to just, like, kinda scream cry for a little bit, or, like, not, like, at anybody, but just, like
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though, is, like, what I learned at Hoffman is, like, we're told from a really young age to not express this stuff, so no one knows how to,
yeah, it's
like
been full trial and error for me. Like, the
yeah,
gray is the only area in life that I've ever been able to find peace,
exactly.
and that's why I really love, people who I can talk to, and they will, like, say controversial things or do something a little
Live
bit
in
weird.
the gray with you.
Yes, because I underst even if I'm not agreeing with the thing they're doing, I'm like, "You seem like a real person to me."
Exactly, that's
Like,
exactly right.
I like that you have depth in both directions. I like that you can be
Me
a little
too.
dark and then you can flow in and out of it, and it's
Me
not
too. It's more
this.
real. It's just way more
Yes.
real. I think I'm struggling a little bit when I'm in environments that don't feel like that because I feel like, I don't know, I'm just like not willing to not accept reality. Even if my
Yeah.
reality is different than someone else's, I'd rather them I don't know, it's a tricky one. It's tricky.
Yeah, like you're saying,
Y
like, with this perspective, and you get, like, put in a room with a bunch of right roaders, and you're like, "What the heck am I do like, what is going on?"
Yeah, it can just be a little isolating.
I like to just go in there and make people feel a little bit uncomfortable. Not in a
I
weird way,
know.
but just, like,
No,
go
I
in there,
think
ask the
I
weird
think
questions, like, I don't know.
you inspire me because I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I think you care less what people think of you, and I mean that as a big compliment, unless it's not true.
No, I would say it's true. I would say it's true because I want it to be true, but I would say that I'm always aware of it.
Okay.
Like, I will see the
Yeah,
way
but you're
someone
extremely self-aware, so
I'm ex
that's not what I'm saying.
but
You're not just oblivious.
not just self-aware, but, like, I'll be talking to someone, and the second they're bored, I know that they're bored. Or,
Yeah.
if I, I can read body language really well, very second nature thing, very much a trauma response for life, very much a superpower, but it's like I'm always aware, it feels like, of, like, how people are receiving me, that,
Yeah.
like, have to make, like, cognitive, like, decisions to be like, "You need to just keep being you and pretend like you don't ca if you pretend like you don't care, then that's the energy you're gonna put out, and then you're gonna get more out of it."
I
But a
think
lot
that's
of
the
it
goal.
I know, but
I think you do it better than me. I think reading this book and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know your experience. I just feel like I've lived a really long time making decisions for everyone else.
I feel like a lot of my life has been me always being misunderstood for, like, my
Yeah.
intentions or what I'm
Yeah.
doing, like,
Yeah.
doing something out of self-love, being called, like, a selfish jerk from it, like, I
Yep.
have been put in a lot of, like, negative bubbles in life that I have a
Mhm.
lot of, like, "fuck you" energy, where I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna move how I wanna move." Like, you don't know me." Like, I have a lot of, like, that where it's, like, not like I'm ready to fight somebody, but it's, like, very much that I've gotten, like, every kind of negative feedback in the book, especially from, like, adults growing up and things like that, because I
Yeah.
would just like, if an adult was rude, I would call them out, and then they'd be like, "You're a bad kid," and I'd be like, "I'm not a bad person. You just did something
Y
ridiculous, and now I'm being called out because I'm 12."
Exactly.
And I would get a lot
Exactly.
of that where growing up, so, like, it's just like I feel like I've just built this armor towards people,
Yeah.
but armor
Yeah,
keeps
I can relate
people
to that a
out.
lot too. I feel like I'm a truth teller, a truth seeker, and, like, I will
Yes.
call bullshit out, but maybe because the amount that it's been rejected or whatever, I've given up in a lot of ways and just, like, surrendered to a lot of situations, and then I've developed that bad habit of not continuing to live from that place, and I think the older you get, the more you can do that because then you gain your freedom back and you have all these options and you have choice. But as a
Mhm.
kid, you really don't.
Yeah.
So I wasn't willing to rebel to a level, I think, I don't know. And so now I look back at a lot of my years and I go, we're, I don't know. I'm just frustrated. And I think it's all perfect timing. This is the time in my life where this would make sense to start living more in my authentic truth. I don't know how often people can just always naturally do that at 22 years old. So it's like all good. Like I don't even really feel
Wait, you're doing the thing right now.
I
Do you realize
know.
that?
I know. I know. I think it's
But
just
I
a lot
also
harder.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, I get it.
Yeah, it's just harder to do than I thought to change old patterns is really what I'm getting at.
I
And
know
to start
because
doing it. And
it's not just, like, being aware. You have to, like, embody it. You have to, like,
yeah,
literally,
and
like,
step
move
1
it through your body.
the step 1's awareness. The step 2 is changing or, like, stopping the action, and then the step 3 is new ways of being, and I think that the new ways of being I'm stumped on because I feel, like, a little lonely in it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel fear. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm already traumatized in all these ways. What am I doing?
Right, like, why am I signing my but it's like you're signing yourself up for, like, the good trauma, like, the trauma
Yeah,
that you want, the growth, and da da
the whole
da.
point,
Yeah.
yeah, the artist way, like, I'm trying to get to my authentic self, but it's a lot harder when you are codependent with a lot of people, you have a system, people think of you a certain way, like,
You have to,
there's
like,
so
break a
many
whole mold.
reasons. Yeah, so yeah, anyone that's, like, was tinkering with the artist way, I hope it's going well. I definitely think this will be, like, an incredible experience for both of us, but, like, it's gonna be drawn out for me personally because it's just a lot.
Yeah, and I think too that it's like it's just gonna be I'm like, "It just is what it is," type thing, but also
Yeah,
what it is like, yes, it's like a book and we're reading and everything, but, like, what I, like, was journaling about is how what it really is and why it's so this, like, energy is so accessible to anybody is that it's devoted time of self-reflection,
yeah.
and it's, like, devoted time to understanding the reoccurring thoughts in your head.
Mhm,
And in that, you get to know yourself and, like, the beliefs and everything.
mhm.
Something from one of the chapters that has really stuck with me that I was like, "That is fucking genius," is like, I always have a journal by my bed. Not that I always use it, but it's just always there.
Yeah,
And one of the chapters was like, before bed, write down a couple questions. If you got some questions on your mind, it could be anything existential to something like really small of like, what's the next step I should do in my business, da da da. Like,
yeah.
just like brain up the questions in your mind, 5, 10 questions, whatever it is. I had like 4 last night. And then in the morning, first thing you do is you open and you read the questions. And like when you're not even like fully think like you're just still kind of in like la la land of like little like waking up, you go down,
Uh-huh.
you answer those questions. And it's like there's no time to
Oh,
overthink because it's so simple.
and it's
But
because
that's
it's,
just
like,
like,
your voice, you think?
yeah,
It's
it's just
you?
yeah, I can even give you guys an example. But the reason I say that is like it's just putting intentional time of self-reflection. Like something that I
Yeah,
asked myself in it was like, what um when I say you, like it says, what do you need more of me? What do you need less? I'm talking to God, the universe, insert the higher power that we all live with. And right when I woke up, I was like, your spirituality needs more from you and alcohol needs less. Not that I
uh-huh.
overdrink, not like don't have an issue with that, but it's more of like, if you're going out and partying every weekend, which I enjoy a good party, but then if you're hungover, the next day you're kind of like wasting the day. And it's just
Yeah.
something that like I know I do, and it's not that I necessarily regret. It's just that the scale needs to shift a little bit
There's
more.
friction there's a little bit of friction in it, even
But
if it's
I would have never just said that or written it down or
Mhm.
anything without, like, I don't know, it was just a weird energy about that I really, really liked, and I think people should start it. But morning pages and this little question thing and things like that has been, um, like, my biggest things with this
Do you
process.
think do you think last question and then we can let it rest at an hour, but do you think that if we've kind of been on this since the podcast started and have gotten more and more self-reflective, even though we're already two people fucking doing this
We
shit
enjoy this
all the
shit.
time. We enjoy it. We were already
Yeah.
doing it. We've had so many conversations, just the two of us on trips and things about what we're doing, relationships, the point of it all. Like we're just in the shit, okay? But specifically since we started the podcast, I got back from Hoffman. You had a really tough beginning of your year. This year has been massive for us. What do you think is happening to your brain and your spirit from all of it, if you had to say
Hmm.
broadly, not even like specific goals or outcomes? Like, do you feel a shift in yourself in a way that you could describe, or are you not able to?
I feel immense expansion.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my aura reaches
Yeah.
way further than
Yeah. Me
before.
too.
Like,
Me
the
too.
light that I've
Yeah.
had been so accustomed to, like, my thing growing up is, like, you put me in any room, I'm gonna find the missing puzzles piece, and I'm gonna go be that person. Like, I can,
Yeah.
like, chameleon
Exactly.
I can be really good at chameleoning through life.
Yep.
Um, and in that, some strengths came out of it, but, like, that as a default setting is, like, not a good place
Yeah. Cause
to
you don't
be.
really live always then in your authentic
Almost
self.
never, almost
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
right?
You're just waiting to see who you need to be for everyone
And
else.
it's no wonder I love spending so much alone time because the only time I could be my authentic self is
Yeah.
when no one was around me.
Exactly. That's exactly
So,
right.
when I say, like, expanding my light, like, I feel like I now can walk into rooms with my authentic self.
Mhm,
Is it there
mhm.
100% of the time? Probably not, but, like, that's what I feel. I feel the most, like, expanded as a human being that I've ever have, and I feel the most connected to the collective than I ever have.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like I have, like, a role here. Even though
yeah,
I'm, like, one cell in the body type thing, I'm like, "I'm gonna be the best fucking cell." Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
like
all our cells have a role even if they're just one cell.
I know, and it's like I
That's a message, that's a theory about our bodies and the whole point of it all. If it
I
is, you could
well,
use the human body as an example of the universe.
I always do because it's just the reoccurring patterns, but, like, that's I feel like as a cell, like, I'm a really good cell and people can rely on me and I'm a good leader and I'm taking care of myself and da da da, but then, like, on, like, a bigger note, I feel like I'm the most connected that I've been to, like, a lot of self-centered, mindset has had to go
Yeah,
because like, the fear of posting and all the stuff we were talking about in the beginning, that was very, like, a self-focused version of myself.
yep.
Not that that's probably that version will always
That
be
was
there,
just
but
a
in order
part
f
of it though, the part of us
yeah,
starting this, you know?
but I feel a lot less of that now.
Good,
What about
good.
you?
I would say similar. I feel like in some ways, I've always felt like you're a little bit ahead of me. I don't know if it's because like you're a year older or like what it is, or just it could be a million things. But I think I'm starting this finding my authentic. I'm bursting the bubble of like the story of everything. I've always been someone that's had a story. And I think I've always acted out of intuition, which I'm really grateful for. And those intuitions have led me to like a lot of beautiful places.
Sorry.
But simultaneously, all I've ever done my entire life is worry about everyone else. So to achieve the real thing, which is the cell looking out for the greater thing, I have to focus on the cell.
Yeah, because if you're a
Does
bad
that make
cell,
sense?
then you're gonna be bad for the whole.
Yeah.
Like, you
I couldn't agree more with the chameleon thing. I think I was in a lot of environments where I could just figure it out. I've never been an awkward person. I've never been that shy. I've always been able to talk to people. So it's like, I'm
but it's
always
like
good.
and in that, it's like but then you're not gonna, like, be, like, the odd man out and suck or whatever, but you're also not gonna be the one like, the main person in the room. Not
Yeah.
that, like, that's the goal, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
you're
like,
not
and
gonna
everyone needs
shine.
the main person in there don't need to be the main person in every room. It's about them being
Totally.
the main person when it's the right time for them to be the main person,
Sure.
because it's like their light is shining at that moment for that reason, and then the next day it's someone else.
Mhm.
And I think that I feel expanded, I feel like I'm expanding myself, I feel like my light's shining. I feel really, if I piggyback off everything you said, I think something that's popped in is I feel like I moved to a new level of consciousness
Yeah.
that's very uncomfortable,
Mhm.
'cause this shit's deep, but I just feel like I'm like, I don't know. I just moved on from childhood and now I'm in a new way. I'm just in a new area, a new time of life, and it feels different. My body
Mhm.
feels different. My brain chemistry feels different. The way I eat and drink feels different. Everything about me's feeling different, and in good ways and ways that are like, this is uncomfortable. It's new. I might feel a little alone in it. I'm like, it's all very weird. And it's like I asked for it. And now that it's here, I have to deal and I have to figure it out. And I have
And
to like,
you have to, like, make the cognitive choice of, like, keep leaning in
mhm.
because there's no going
This is like
back.
a really small example. I used before I went to Hoffman, a lot of like my coping, because like I don't tend to like I don't have a long list of like unhealthy things I do, but like everyone has them. Everyone has a coping thing. So one of mine would be like reality TV. I'm
Mhm.
not like obsessed with one sector of reality TV, but like Love Island coming out, or like a series of the Kardashians, or like all those things, like it'd be a thing in my life where like the day would feel so hard that like once I got to that hour of the day, it would bring me so much relief, but then I would be so depressed after, because like that thing was keeping me alive. And it's really weird because it feels silly. It's like reality TV, it's not that dangerous. I think some people probably feel like that with video games and stuff. It doesn't mean I can't watch reality TV. But like when I got out of Hoffman, I was like, I am physically not able to use that tool to achieve that feeling anymore. It
Uh-huh.
like I got robbed of it in the best way and the worst way. So then when
Yeah.
you're left without that vice, now like what's left in that space is a new level of discomfort. So now I've just sat in a lot more discomfort that I was using a bunch of other things to cope with
Yeah.
the discomfort on, and it's like they don't sit well with me. Like can't really drink alcohol anymore. Just doesn't go down. I've tried. I've ordered a drink like probably 10 times in the last year. I don't know if I've finished one of them. Like, it will
Yeah.
not go down into my system, and it doesn't mean I'm like, that's not someone else's needs to do that. It's just my personal thing, and I think that so to all that to say, I'm in the process of letting go of all these things that really helped me, and now I have to find new things to fill that time, and it's
Mhm.
very challenging. So as much as I'm seeing it working, I'm also just, like, kind of still in the shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Then that's where you need to be because it's
Exactly.
like the uncomfortable. Like, that's where it all
It's the point,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, I
point.
would say a lot of, I mean, in November, like, I know we have to wrap up, but, like, in November when, a lot of Scorpio energy, a lot of transformation
Yeah.
going on, a lot of mentee bees, I, like, picked up another, like, fantasy book series, which I'm thoroughly, thoroughly enjoying. But, like,
Yeah.
if I'm in the shits, like, I'm gonna pick up a distraction.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to completely, but before I would pick up a distraction, and then it would be like a black and white, boom, done. I'm not doing that anymore.
Exactly.
But I knew, like, the podcast, everything, I'm like, I have, like, even if I'm gonna be down the dumps for a week, like, I gotta show up the next episode, or I have to, show up to work, and, like, I don't
Mhm.
want, like, the accountability of, like, not wanting to let you down has changed my life.
Yeah,
Even
me
though that
too.
was already there, but, like, this, because even when we don't feel like it, like, us sitting
We do
down
it.
and having this conversation, I mean, I'm gonna feel amazing after this.
I know. That's the whole
So
point. Whereas if we weren't doing this, I would have done the reality TV thing.
mhm,
That's my whole I just use that as a random example, but it's like once we shifted into this like more of a processing, I think what we're doing is just processing a lot. I don't
yeah,
even think my new light and new authenticity is here yet. It's scratching out of me. And so yeah, I can feel it, but I do feel like at least I can see now that a number of months passed, like how beautiful it is, like that we're doing this and that we're doing it together in a lot of ways. But also like we have our own solo missions. We have like still a lot of privacy in it. And I think it's just like this cool I think I'm at a point where I think it's, like, really cool to reflect back on, even if I still feel like I'm in the shit on a lot of things, I feel like I at least broke through that first thing where all I could focus on was, like, a photo of me going up that I felt embarrassed about. I'm so
Mhm.
past that. Uh,
Right, right,
like, the
right.
ego part, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whatever,"
But then
you
your
know?
ego's like, "But I know what else she cares
Oh,
about." No,
for
I
sure,
know,
but,
it's such
like,
a game.
it's such a game, it's like a video game,
It is, and, like, that's how I
right?
view, like, the holding the 2 realities, like, can you
Yeah,
level up? Like, I
you
have this,
level
like,
it's like a
playful perspective
yes.
with it
Yeah, because you
because
can't
I'm
take
like
it too seriously, it'll fucking wreck your
yeah,
life.
but it is, like, the yeah, greatest skill maybe that's what this episode will be about, yin and yangin. Yin and yangin
Yeah.
over here
We are
because
yin and yangin'.
yeah,
That's exactly right. I felt a lot of connection to the, acupuncture, like, Ayurvedic, Chinese medicine world because it's a lot about yin and yang, and, like, they teach you about, like, energy and qi and all these things and how we're all just trying to balance out. So when you're low on qi, there's a part of you missing, and when you're running too high on qi, your body's too hot and you're overloaded. So to find out how to, like, be in the middle is the whole piece of yin and yang. It's like this beautiful metaphor for like everything, our bodies, our brains, our like community, our everything. And yeah, everyone, I think a lot of people, or I can't speak for other people, I was running on like too much chi my whole life or too little chi at times. Like it's just
yeah.
like you don't, you know?
Yeah, and I would say like a Western version of what you just said, that something that I always like think about is like during your high times of like you're winning and you're doing amazing at life, like
Success.
that's when you have to like out of discipline enforce your most humble self,
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly right. That's
You need
exactly
to
right.
and then when you're in moments of being very low, that's when you need to enforce your most you are like your most like confident self. Like your most confident self does not need to be with you when you're riding high. Like get a grip.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But, like, when you're at your, like, lowest and that
That's
mindset
it's
has helped
kind
me
of
balance
ego.
it.
That's kind of where the ego's necessary because
Yeah. Your
ego can pull
ego
you
just
out
has
of
a
some
ro
darkness,
exactly.
and then you need to
Exactly.
dial it down when you're, like, riding too high
Yeah. No, I literally
like
view myself as,
right?
like, a little like, I'm like,
There's
"Turn the knob this
dials,
way, we need this." Yeah. But, yeah, when
right?
I'm feeling low, like, and I'm like, "Ego, do your thing, baby." And it goes,
Yes.
"You're fucking incredible." And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, it literally, like,
Yes.
rises me from the ashes, and then I'm like, "Alright, go sit down. You can't
Take a
you're
seat.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to handle the other part of this."
That's exactly right. Well, I feel good about it all. I think we're just, like it's a really interesting way to, like, end our a big year coming up and like a season 1 of our podcast and all the amazing people we've interviewed and like what we've learned about I mean, it's just like really beautiful. I feel really grateful for like
And we're having a Ju
stepping into this.
exactly, and we're having Julian on next
Yes.
episode to talk about her Paris trip, so everyone get excited for that. Yeah, and then that Julian will actually wrap up our season 1.
Season
20
1,
episodes. We
20
did it.
episodes. Can't wait
That's cra
for,
that's 20 weeks of sitting
I'm proud
down,
of us.
getting the guests, having ideas, talking. I mean, how uncomfortable of a situation that we put ourselves in.
Truly, truly.
Ugh,
Individually and just like everything
everything.
about it. But
But
that's where the good stuff comes from.
it's been the most rewarding experience of my life. I'm just
Yeah,
so excited for what's to come.
me too.
Yeah, grateful for you listeners, and we love you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Peace.